What's up, everybody? It's Brandon from Box Office Banner and Cult Flick Symposium. I'm here to talk to y'all about Ricky Stanicky. Another one I probably should have reviewed sooner. Let it marinate for a little while, but again, I'm going to come flat out and say it. This is another comedy that has came out in the last couple years. They've been slowly, it seems like, pushing out a little more and more. That is not of the quality of the era of, the Judd Apatow and shit like that era. But let's be honest, that was like take a bow. And then there's like, nobody can match that. And we're in this like PC era where just nothing can be funny, which I think that's a little dialed up because some people can clearly still get away with it. But it's another one that, for whatever reason, it seems like the past year and a half, they've been pretty consistently okay. At least to me, I've enjoyed comedies again lately. Haven't had many I've loved, and this one included, but this one at least kind of touched a little bit on that vibe. Because I will say this much. Ricky Stanicky had, it, as much as I've loved comedies recently, or liked comedies, again, I'm overcorrecting myself here, not loved. I've definitely not really loved any comedies lately, but I've consistently been like, okay, I've been all right. This one at least had a little more edge and a little bit more of the flavor of the comedies of, past that I just loved. Didn't quite hit that love mark, but it definitely had its moments, man. It was really, really sharp as a comedy in spots. I do think it ran a little long, but at the same time, it was layered enough. I mean, when you watch this, it was layered. Like, yeah, if you watch these comedies, though, there was a clear beginning, middle, and end. It was raunchy fun, but it actually kind of turned around on its head like a lot of the great comedies do at the end, and not be flat out like, oh, that's heartwarming, but it's got a little bit of that, which is more than I can say. Because honestly, for a lot of these, there's a lot of fucking comedies, man, out there that miss the mark on that. But my favorite kind of comedies are this formula where it's raunchy as fuck. It's like, whoa, okay, we're saying that even in this day and age. I can fucking respect that, but also end in a way that's heartwarming, heartfelt, where you're like, damn, okay, yeah, just goes to show you can say and joke around about some of the most evil, vile, fucked up shit, but at the end of the day, there's a heart to be felt, which is cool, because it seems like anymore, if you joke or poke fun at things, you're a piece of shit. Like, there's no heartfelt message. There's nothing. I won't even hear it. Let's cancel you. So this one does a little bit of the flavor I think the older movies do. There's a few and far between of these days, even amongst new comedies, and I can respect it. But the thing is I feel like not everybody brought their A game here. I think William H. Macy was pretty good. I got to give him credit. Efron, I've definitely seen be a lot funnier. Maybe it's more of his role. Andrew Santino, he's okay. I'm not a big fan of him to begin with, but he's all right. In the stand-up comedy, when I listen to him on podcasts, I've listened to Bad Friends. I've heard him on Rogan and a bunch of shit. I've listened to his stand-up. He's not bad. He's just okay to me. Don't dislike him. Don't really like him either. He's fine. But as an actor, I've yet to really enjoy his characters. I don't really get into him. And then the other guy, I don't really know his name, the black guy. I'm not sure about him. It's one of those, I don't really feel like I've seen him in anything. I might be missing this up. Like maybe I've seen his face somewhere else, or I've watched another movie with him. But for him, it's not that he was bad. It was just another one of those. He seemed like a one-off, like, remember him in Ricky Stanicky? And I could be blowing this, like, oh, you're the movie guy. Like, you haven't seen him in other stuff? I just didn't. If I have, maybe it's because he just didn't resonate. Like in this movie, I don't want to write him off completely, but it felt like jury's still out on this guy. I don't know how I feel about him. And then Efron, coming back to him, he did what he was supposed to do, but he overall wasn't that funny. But the structure, the story, the coming around at the end, making it, mean something a little bit at the end rather than just being gross out, goofy, fucked up, raunchy gags. Other than that, what saved it was John Cena. I've been ringing and singing this guy's praises on this podcast and fucking, show, whatever you want to call it, for so long. This man, when it comes to comedy, I still don't quite believe him in these action movies or anything, but if it's an action movie like Peacemaker with some comedy in it, sure, then, he's got the look, and then he can kind of be like, oh shit, that was funny right there, to kind of mix it up a little bit. But as long as he's not being a straight up like serious actor, this motherfucker is gold to watch. And I gotta say, he had a couple somewhere in between this run, a couple movies. I can't name them right away. I know like Hidden Strike with Jackie Chan. I couldn't stand that fucking movie, which is disappointing because I love Jackie Chan. And I'm like, John Cena pairing up with him. There's like a couple movies in a row where I was like, oh, dude, well, maybe it was just a flash in the pan. He had like 3 or 4 really great movies. He's about to fall back into obscurity. No, man, he's starting to ring these up again. Even Vacation Friends 2, for as much shit as that movie got, I was left thinking the same thing in that one. I was like, but John Cena saved it. It was at least watchable. John Cena as a comedic force, force, I'll say, at least in this fucking day and age, because we don't have anybody. He's the funniest dude out. Nobody else can fucking deliver comedy like him, it seems like. There's something about him with his comedic timing and how, like, he just, maybe it's just in the timing, he catches you flat-footed. We're like, oh, shit. That's what we're doing here. All right. He nailed it again. This is another, not tour de force. I don't want to say that. I'm saying force, but I'm saying amongst what we got, he looks like a, like an amazing God. We just don't have that many people that are that funny out. We have people that are funny, but are not hilarious. And when you're pretty fucking hilarious, but nobody else is, it can kind of make you look better than what you are. And I think maybe that's what we're seeing. But also maybe we're not giving this dude enough credit because consistently, if this man is in some type of comedic role, he is fucking hilarious. He makes this movie. If there's one reason for you to see Ricky Stanicky, forget the review, forget anything, because I think, honestly, after this movie, he's earned it. If there's a comedy movie and John Cena's in it with how bad comedies are now, and you just are that, you have that much of an itch for like a comedy movie, it's one of those. Oh, John Cena's in it? I'll at least watch it. That's how good John Cena's been with comedy. He's fucking great, man. I never thought I'd say this. If you've seen my other reviews, he's a big reason why I stopped watching the WWE. I literally, like, as soon as he came in, I checked out. I'd never liked John Cena. And ever since Trainwreck happened with the movie theater scene, when he did that, I was like, what the fuck? That was the beginning of catching me flat-footed and being backpedaling like, what? And it basically, the more roles have went up, it kind of was spotty at first, but then I think other people just saw the hidden genius of this motherfucker in terms of this style of comedy. It's just going and going and going, and they're pumping out the roles to him. And he's fucking nailing it. Give John Cena his flowers, because without John Cena in this movie, it would have been average. Maybe a little, tiny bit better than average because the overall story and how bad comedies are now, and I grade them on a different scale. But he makes this movie fucking watchable. And if everybody else just would have showed up a little better, it would have been fucking great. But because of John Cena, it's not just average. It's not just good. This is a really good comedy to me. Ricky Stanicky gets a 7.2 out of 10, and I definitely would recommend it. But for, you can't see me alone. I love you guys. Peace.